Before we begin today's show, today we want to give a big shout out to
Buzz TV. Buzz TV brings you their own spin on Android devices like the Nvidia Shield and the Amazon Fire Sticks, taking software to the next level with their own app helping you stream anything, anywhere. Buzz TV listens to you, the customers, and consistently brings you the latest and greatest when it comes to hardware, software, customer service, and experience right out of the box.
And to find their products, guys, make sure you guys do go to buzztvglobal.com.
Don't forget to click the link in the description below to get yourself the latest Android device right from Buzz TV. With all that being said, let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to discuss this, and it's me, Joseph, here with nxtlvl and Rohas. Check them out, they're dope people. We're going to get into a fun conversation. I'm already going off a little bit, but before I get any further, if you like what you're seeing, hit that like button, click the subscribe button to see any more in all of our shenanigans. But without me going on any further, let's jump into it.
And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Streams. Man, we got a special guest, and this one is this one's close to my heart because family. It's family. So before we begin or anything like that, make sure you guys always check the links below. Make sure you check the description, so that way you guys could follow whoever our guest is. And today we have ijustwatched. Junior, I just watched. You want to say hello, Junior?
Hello, hey everyone. Yo, thanks for having me. It's kind of cool, like just to chat. You know, I mean, Steve, I know you, but like to meet nxtlvl and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to chat and have a good time. To be honest.
Awesome. How you been, nxtlvl?
You know, I'm doing okay. I'm more awake than I want to be, but I'm awake.
We had a pre-show, and
Yeah, pretty much
where I wasn't awake, and I actually got yelled at. And typically, most of you guys know already. Most like everybody who's listening, most of you guys know. I'm usually like on point with my thoughts and everything, and it's usually nxtlvl that's all over the place. So nxtlvl had to yell at me to go get me an energy drink. So I had to run downstairs, grab me one. And so I think I'm okay right now. And we totally geeked out on a lot of things that we're going to talk about. So this is going to be super cool. So before we begin, Junior, can you give us a quick, like, what is your channel about? What is it that you do? So that way people could get like a feel of who you are.
Definitely. So it started out like a real simple, like movie reviews and like trailer reactions, because I'm a movie buff and like it's a big part of who I am. So it started out real simple, and it's kind of grown a little bit, not too much. Still do movie reviews, still do trailer reactions, but now I'm starting to get into skits because I'm starting to learn more about like filming and stuff like that. I'm trying to get into that whole aspect of it. The homie and I want to do stop motion short films with like a lot of the collectibles we have from like figures and things like that. So it's starting to break out, but really overall what it is, it's like things that mean, and my friend like Eric or David, like things that drive us, like things we have passion about. And it's like pop culture based, but it's really like comics, movies, music, collectibles, things like that. And we talk about them, why we like them, why we don't. We try to open up dialogues, because like we'll talk about a movie. Like one of my go-tos is Wild Wild West. Horrible movie, but I love it. And I admit it. Horrible movie, but I love it. And I'll fight people to this day that it's amazing, but it's bad. But like, so we just talk about like that, and we have those conversations. We talk about past movies, new movies. Sadly, this year's been a little harder to talk about new movies because can't really go to the movies. But yeah, we just try to talk about things we like, and communicate with people. You know, see like if they agree, disagree, and just kind of learn with each other and stuff like that.
For sure. Now, okay, real quick. I'm on the same boat on you with Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Who are the stars in there?
I can tell you, obviously, Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I never remember the actor's name, but he plays Bloodbath McGrath. I always like him, and I also like the guy who plays. Oh man, see now you put me on the spot. I can't remember names. Did this to me on purpose. What's the name? The main villain. I just know him because the whole story was Kevin Smith, where he wanted to do a Superman movie, but he wanted a giant spider, and they said no, so they canceled the movie. And then the next movie he did is Wild Wild West, where there's a giant spider. He's the guy in the wheelchair. Lovelace.
Yeah, Dr. Lovelace. Kenneth. Can't say his last name. Branagh.
Yes. Yeah. No. So I don't know. Like it was just funny. Like I didn't know about the whole Kevin Smith story until later on. David was like, "So you know why there's a giant spider in that movie?" And I was like, "No." And then I get the whole like Superman thing. He didn't want Superman to fly. He didn't want Superman to be an alien, and he wanted him to fight a giant spider in his Superman movie that he was going to direct. And they're like, "We can't do that." And next thing you know, next movie we get is a giant metal spider.
So you missed one character. One actress.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say the only reason why I like Wild Wild West is because Salma Hayek.
I feel you.
She could be in anything. I don't care what it is. It's a great movie.
Automatically, bro.
Automatically, the best.
Winner.
Give her the damn Emmy.
Like for Wild West, the cinematography when she's walking away in the onesie that they gave her to sleep.
Yep.
I was like, that's why this movie deserves an Oscar for that one moment.
Just right there. That's it. Give her 10.
Give her 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So that's cool. Now, let's take this a little further back then. Before you got into YouTube and before you, like, obviously, like us growing up, we always have a passion of, I like that movie. And yeah. I, you know, like, especially when you're a kid, it's crazy. Everybody has their own, I don't know if I want to call it a decade or maybe like half a decade, like a good 5 years of just a good amount of movies that come out. And for you, they could be the best, and for others, it could be the worst. It just depends on, I guess, age gaps and stuff like that.
Like comfort food. It's like what movies are your comfort food, right?
Yeah.
Like your go-tos.
Go ahead.
Well, I know, like, because I know you know a lot more about Disney than I do, but like my favorite Disney animated film growing up was Aristocats.
Okay.
And my dad said I used to ask for it when he come from work when he got home, but I wouldn't say the name. I'd just be like, "Yo," I didn't say yo, but I was like, "Can we watch Meow Meow?" And he was like, "I know what that means." I'd watch that on a loop, and he would end up singing "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat" at work, and people were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I watched this movie like 20 times today." But not like another movie is Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, love that movie. I mean, it has a great cast to begin with, but just I like the story. I like the practical effects for like the aliens and all that. Because practical effects are like my preference. I love CG just because of the capabilities it gives us. Mm-hmm. But I like when they like mix the two, like Jurassic Park. You have practical effects with CG, and that's why I think it still reigns to this day. Mm-hmm. Comfort movies. It's gonna be weird, but like Tombstone. When I was young, I loved Tombstone. That's because my dad made me watch like Bonanza and like anything cowboy related, like the Gunman and all that. Like my dad was like, "It's cowboy related. We're watching." I was all right. And Tombstone was just like amazing. I love when he goes like, "Hell's coming for you," or no, the fury of hell's coming for you, and I'm coming with it, and all that. I'm just like, get him.
Yeah. Now, so next level, a couple. I just wanted to give you a quick little history of our family. I don't know what our family, meaning our uncles and aunts, were thinking. We have batches of generations that were born. So my batch, and this sounds totally weird, but my batch is the middle batch.
Like they
His
were baking in the
batch,
oven.
yeah, pretty much. His batch, it was the last batch
Yeah.
of all of the first cousins that were born. So, for example, I have like our older cousins. They're in their mid 40s, and I want to say we have. I think one of our cousins is maybe 50.
I think one of them is, without putting them on the spot. I want to say yes.
Yeah, I know. I want to say their name, but I'm like, no, I don't want to put them on the spot either.
Yeah, because like they're gonna be watching this. We're gonna get a phone call and be like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah, we're like, damn. So we have a batch somewhere like 50 to 45, let's just say.
Yeah.
Give or take. And then I was the first out of the next batch. I'm 39, and I have my two other cousins. Everybody used to call us like three amigos because we were inseparable. Literally, like I was born in May, the other one was born in June, and then the third one was born in September, all in the same year. Like literally batches. 2 years after that, they had another one, and then 2 months after that was another one. So there was like another batch. So I think we're like, the oldest one would be me at 39, and then the youngest one I think would be my sister at 35, 36. And then there was another batch, and I want to say, I'm trying to think, is Jacob older than you or
No, he's younger than me.
younger? Was Yvette older?
Yeah, I think he had me by a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jasmine, I think, had me by like almost like a year and change.
Yeah. So okay, and you are
I'm
30?
26.
26. I just said 30.
Yeah. God damn.
I know. Ow.
But my back went out in this conversation.
Literally.
It's funny because I'm always calling Rohas old, but he's not that much older than me. He's a little bit, but not that much.
Look, all you need is a day, one day, and that's all it takes.
A day. That's it. So my sister, and I keep forgetting, my baby sister Yvette, may she rest in peace, man. She is 11 years younger than me. So she would be 20. She would have been 28. Damn, she would have been 28. So Jacob being the youngest is what, 25?
I think so. I was like, because I remember it was weird because like I think he was always 24, but like my birthday would hit and then his would hit like soon after. So it was like a couple months difference of for like me being 26. I think he is 25 or just turned 25 or something like that.
Yeah. So we have little
Yeah, we have like little groups.
Yeah, a little group. And it's crazy. Like when you think about the oldest, hopefully nobody calls us later and says, I'm not 50, I'm actually 49.
Yeah, right.
So if you look at that age group from, I'm just going to call it 50 all the way down to 25, that's a good 25 years of what the hell our uncles and aunts were doing. It's like, dude, really? But it's funny. It's funny when you look at certain groups. I want to say, so this middle group, the one that I'm in, we did connect with the older cousins, but we didn't connect in that movie level. That like, hey, let's go to the movies. Hey, let's watch this together. Let's do this or that. Like, we didn't really do that together. It was more of let's go out. And I'm sure you remember this. For like Labor Day weekend, we used to go to some park and everybody showed up. There's like 100 people there. We used to grab a football, frisbee, or whatever, and we just play all day. Uncles, aunts, even grandma, like everybody was out there. But your generation and mine, we connected we had a much tighter bond, I would say, than our cousins. It was literally so. Like I would be there at the house, my baby sister's running around telling me like, we need to get pizza. We need to get what is it? The thing that you guys ate all the time. There is a snack that you guys wanted me to make all the time that every time you guys came over. I forget what it was. It was a microwave.
I'm a foodie, so I'm gonna say like anything that tastes good. Like it's a hard question.
It's a hard question. I know.
Hard question to ask.
But like, yeah. So I remember like we would have summer parties. So like you'd be over, Jasmine or Jacob, and then I have like all four of you guys running around. And so I would stay up with you guys, and then sometimes I would even call Rich and Will to come over. And then obviously my sister was living there too. So like we would constantly have this, like
gathering.
Yeah, like a little gathering, like just a little party, like, and we would watch whatever the hell you guys wanted to watch. We're like, okay, cool.
Pretty much we can go down the list. This.
Yeah. And it was literally, I know, so Will and me were the two that had the giant freaking DVD collections.
Yeah.
You just go there and like just for days, just like, oh my gosh, there's so much in here, When I guess I would say is when you were at that age, what would be like your all-time favorite that like when you sit down and watch it nowadays, like you look to your left and you're like, there's Yvette, there's Will, there's Steve, there's like what movie is it that brings you back all the way?
Dude, to be honest, that one's actually easy. It's the first Austin Powers, because I remember I can genuinely remember like looking at the DVDs and going through the stacks, and I had no idea what it was. I just remember Yvette saying it was funny and I'd like it. I was like, all right, let's try it. And then I just remember sitting there just watching it. So every time I watch that movie, just like I'm just super happy. Even like I could just hear it and I'm just like, ah.
That's awesome.
Like, no, that one brings good memories, good times.
I would have picked the Austin Powers movie also. Like, it was
also extremely quoted by like our entire family.
Our entire, literally. It's like Yvette would always quote the crap out of that movie. And that I think that's one of the only movies. There's like a small handful of movies that I will watch at least once every year. That's one of them. That's one of them. I got it, and it's usually over the summertime. I'm like, let me put that. I got like a list of summer movies. That one, one of the Ace Venturas, the second one, the Major Pain. Yeah. So it does bring some really good memories for sure.
Yeah, dude. Like it's just good time. I think it's because of you and Will that I have such a massive DVD collection as well. Like DVDs, Blu-rays, and all that. Like it's like for a little bit it got out of hand, and I was like, man, I need another room just for this. Yeah, I think at the most, I think at like the height of my like film collection, like DVDs and stuff, I think I was like at almost 1,000 something. Just nice. And they were ranging, dude. I have like old movie from like San Francisco with Clark Gable to like a few like 4K films from now. Like it was just range.
Nice.
But now with everything being like 4K, I watch an old movie and it's like lagging on my TV, and I'm just like, oh no, no, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
So you're particular about the quality of the films that you're watching too now, or not so much, or
not necessarily the quality like of the film, but like if I'm like it bothers me. Like I was watching where did I see it? I was watching like an old Harry Potter, just the DVD itself, but I had it on my 4K player and watching it on my dad's like 4K TV in the living room. And I was watching it, and you just see it like they would talk and it would just lag, like it would buffer. And I was just like, oh no. So I thought it was something going on. So I brought it to my room and same setup, and it did the same thing. And I was like, oh, like I love these movies. Now I need to upgrade. I was like, now I need like a Blu-ray minimum. I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So what about, if there was a movie that you really, really wanted to watch and you were able to watch it, but the quality was garbage, would you wait until the movie came out in really good quality before you actually either streamed it online or found it or whatever?
I'd probably push through, even though it bugged the shenanigans out of me. I'd be sitting there like, I love this movie. I just be sitting there like, I was like, I need a job so I can get like a clean version of like an older DVD player, like a nice, decent, like big booty 32-inch TV, so I can just enjoy this.
Yeah. You got to feel the vintage.
Yeah.
It's like, here's Deadpool 3. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I hear you. So I guess when you started your YouTube channel, what sparked the idea? What sparked the like, hey, I want to do this, and yeah, just like what sparked the idea of just starting the YouTube channel?
Yeah. So like, it's funny. So the first video I ever made was for Deadpool, like the first one. It's horrible because I genuinely, like, I had my phone. I was sitting in my dark room with like one light on, like this, just holding my. I didn't even hold it at I just literally held it at this weird 45-degree angle. All you see is my face and like darkness behind me. But it was one of those things where like I'd always thought about it, like, I kind of want to do this because I've always been drawn towards film in one fashion or form, like either watching it or reading about it or trying to do it or things like that. And I was like, I always told myself next time. And after that movie, it's like 2, 3 in the morning. I'm sitting in my room like, I'm just going to do it. Because if I do it, then I'll get started. Because if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. And it was just one of those where it's gross. Like I left it on there so I can go back and watch it and be like, progress has been made. It's not great, but at least I can see progress. Like it was funny, dude. Like, I don't know, but it was just something that I wanted to try. And I was pretty much afraid to try until I just, like, quote unquote, pulled the trigger and held my phone in that weird angle and talked at the camera. And like, dude, it's funny. It's just darkness behind me, dude. Just black. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, so Deadpool, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think we all have like a cringe. What the hell was I thinking? It was me, same thing. My first couple videos, you can tell I was very, I don't know, I don't want to call it scared, maybe timid, maybe like, I don't know. You don't like, I was already used to, being, I was in the Marines. Yep. And I taught music for a hell of a long time. So I'm already used to talking in front of people. I'm already used to like performing in front of people. So that it wasn't that, it was just really weird to me to, to set up a mic,
yeah,
and to talk to a screen with nobody there. It's like it's like literally you close your door and you just stare at the wall, just start talking to it.
Yeah.
So to me, it was the weirdest thing. And the thing too, I didn't show my face for a while, like a good while. It was just the screen, and I was just going through a simple like tutorial how to do something.
Yeah.
It was how to get some of the streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So within time, I'm like, well, let me set up the camera. And it was the same thing. Like, ooh, this is improvement. Like, I saw my face. I'm like, where can I adjust it? Where can I move it? And then this is sad. This is so sad. So it was a year ago. I figured that, like, if you look at my videos from a year ago, and if you look at my videos now, my camera and my mic is the same. But the quality of both a year ago was horrible compared to what it is right now. And the only thing of what it was like a simple dumb setting that I had because it's a wide camera.
Yeah.
For some reason it was cropped and it looked like a 720 quality, even though it's a 1080, but it wasn't wide. It was cropped. The audio was a little bit like it was okay. It almost sounded like I was like in a tunnel. And I started going through the settings and like OBS, and then and then I was learning how to use Premiere, Adobe Premiere Pro, and I started using a couple things, and then it was like one click. I'm like, boom, boom, all of a sudden, bam, my screen's bigger. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why do I look cleaner? I was like, I was like, man, what about you next?
I don't know, man. Like, I never. Well, you know what? I started on my cell phone, but all I did was just screen recording, so I never really showed myself. And it's the same thing like Junior. Like, you just got to start. But I didn't start to say I was gonna do YouTube. I just started uploading videos, and I happened to catch the algorithm for something, and it just started going. But I just started doing screen recordings on my phone, and you just start with what you have, right? And then eventually I was like, you know what, if I'm not showing my face, I should upgrade my sound. So I got a microphone for my phone, and that was the first thing that I bought so people could hear me better. And then after that, I tried to use a laptop that I had, but every time I either tried to record or live stream, it would overheat and shut off. So, you just kind of slowly build yourself up until you get to a point where, you're kind of, well, you know what? No, because I don't think I'll ever be happy. Everything I'm always like, so what's next? What can I get next? How do I make this better? And you know what? That's kind of what drives me a bit, not just the content, but how do I make my production better? How do I make what I do better? How do I produce better quality, better content? Like, that's kind of what drives me too. But it's also because, we're kind of interested in tech, and all of this is part of tech. So it's like, ooh, new toys. Here's an excuse.
Pretty much. Now, for you, Next Level, your YouTube name was not Next Level before.
No.
So what's
No.
the story behind that?
Okay, so grade 6, my best friend in grade 6 gave me a silly nickname, and it just, when you first sign up for a Google account, you don't know what you're doing, and your YouTube name is generally whatever you signed up for back when you signed up for an email account. So it was like that ever since like 2005 or something like that. It was just some random nickname that I got when I was in grade 6. And then I started dropping videos on YouTube, not thinking that I would do YouTube. You know what I mean? So it was well, my name's Mark, but my nickname was Mrak Attack, which is just some weird nickname that my friend gave me. And then once I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, I was like, I got to do something with this name, because it's nothing about who I am, what I do. Nobody's going to search it. No one's going to find me. Like, everyone's going to have difficulty spelling it, saying it. Not saying that anyone can spell how I spell mine now anyways, but so I had to change it to be more relatable, right? And that's actually kind of why I like the simplicity of Junior's name. I just watched. What do you do? Well, I just watched this, or I just, I like that. It's very simple. It's to the point, and I think that that's good for people. It's good when people can just read your name and automatically say, well, okay, well, that makes sense. I don't have to ask you too many questions to get to the point. So I like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, was that a Pokemon thing that they Rack Attack?
No,
Like
he just rearranged the letters in my name. It wasn't a Pokemon. Get out of here.
That's awesome. Well, for me, so my original YouTube name was called Cody Tutorials. Way back then, a lot of people were searching for the term Cody because that's how you could stream a lot of your stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to call it Cody Tutorials. It's going to be super simple and easy. And that's actually how I grew my channel from 0 to 100,000 subscribers. People were just searching for that all the time. And, YouTube changed kind of their ways of doing things. So I'm like, I need to change my channel. I need to change my videos. Excuse me. And I'm just like, I need to do something different. So I changed it to, oh man, now I got to start thinking. It was something else before I put Rohas in it, but I did put, at one point I did called it Rohas Cody Tutorials with a J, and I had everybody, like, because with YouTube is a worldwide thing, and us being Hispanic, J, we don't say Rojaz,
Yeah.
but a lot of people in the UK, a lot of white people, American white people, like everywhere was just Rojaz. You know, like everybody was screwing it up like royally bad. Next Level kind of makes fun of me now, and he has like he gave me a nickname, Rojowski. I think it's hilarious.
Yesterday you were Rohan.
Yesterday I was Rohan. I was like, what the hell? So I was like, when I first changed it, I had I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put the H, and then I'm gonna put the A with the 2 dots on top.
Yeah.
Almost make it look like German, you know? So I did that, and the first person I did like I think I jumped on either somebody's live show or somebody jumped on my live show, and they said, "Hey Rojas, I got a question." And I'm like, "Ooh, they said Rojas. They said it right." I'm like, "This is cool." So then I was like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna keep it with the H." So then it was maybe a few months later, I took the 2 dots away from the A. But everybody, you know, I then decided to change my channel to it went to like Rojas tech tutorials, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't roll off the tongue good, you know? And I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, I'm not doing too many tutorials anymore. I'm reviewing stuff now. Let me do Rojas reviews. That sounds a little bit easier to say. So plus it's going to be a simple search term. If everybody gets to know me who I am with an H, you know, if you put Rojas with a J, a butt ton of people come up.
Yeah.
You know, I even had some family give me some slack about it. Like, they're like, Rojas. They're like, are you changing our last name? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, legally, my driver's license still has the J. Calm down.
Yeah. No, when I first saw it, I was like, that's smart. Because my coaches in football and stuff, they're like, when I was doing good, Rojas. When they're like, I messed up, damn it, Rojas. I'm like, damn, coach, you got to disrespect me and my ancestors, bro.
Yeah. For real. Yeah, so that's kind of what I did just to catch the algorithm. If you type in just like, you know, my channel's name is called Rojas Reviews, but if you just type in Rojas just like that on Google search, I pop up all over the place.
Yeah.
So that was the point of it, just to try to get there for people to find me. So now it's you know, I have this channel, Rojas Reviews. I got another channel I made called World of Rojas, and that one's more for my traveling stuff. I have another channel, Streaming Box Now. I was just getting too many Android devices, so I'm just like, I need to make a whole other channel just for that. And so I did that earlier this year, and then Next Level and I did this one called Beyond the Streams. And this one's cool because it's, again, if you just search Beyond the Streams, you find us no matter what. Streaming Box Now, I was hoping it was gonna catch some kind of algorithm, which it kind of is. I think I still need to do more work on it. I don't want to change the name, but I want to change the name, so I'm kind of stuck. You know.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with your name then? How did you come up with I Just Watched?
So like originally, like when I first started, I just honestly just put my name. I was like Joseph Rojas. But like after like I started getting more into it and started doing research, every time you typed in Joseph Rojas, a Christian singer would pop up, and I was like, that's not me. I was like, that's not me. So like as I kept doing research, I was like, I need to change my name. So I was trying to go through it, and I left it as Joseph Rojas for a minute, but I kept writing down ideas. There was one where it was like Average Joe reviews or stuff like that. Like I was just trying to like play with it. Even a while back, like the About Me says, just your average Joe talking about movies. And I'm just like, oh my God, who is that person? Like, so I just kept playing with it. And then finally I was like, I was at work with my friend Ben, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'm just trying to come up with a better name. Like, I'm just watching these movies. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm just trying to come up with a better name. He goes, no, say that again. I was like, I just watched. He's like, use that. And I was like, I love you. I was like, checked if it was available. And I was like, you're good to go. I was like, yes, it's mine. I was like, yeah, dude, like, cool. I'm glad I never, like, I just left it Joe's Road, but I'm glad I didn't put like the Average Joe one, or I had Movies with Junior was another idea I had written down, stuff like that. And it was just like, no. And then now that like most of the time it's me, but like I'll have a friend like Eric or David with me, it makes more sense instead of being like my name or just my reference.
Right.
Because it's us. when we
Yeah.
review stuff. Like sometimes it's just me, but most of the time I'm with like my friend Eric or David. So it just started to fit, and like I just fell in love with it after a little bit.
Yeah. Now, so we don't have Eric or David here with the show with us today.
Yeah.
But I guess tell us who Eric is and how he got into this with you, and then tell us who David is, and then how he got into this with you also.
Cool. So Eric was so when I moved to Texas, it was the summer before my freshman year of high school, and I was at my cousin Roxanne's house, and we were doing like a little birthday party, and he was one of her neighbors who just came over for it. I think I had like some kind of Marvel shirt on or like a geek shirt on basically, and he had one on too, and I was like, oh, that's a cool character. He goes, that's a cool character. I was like, so like we're best friends now, and it just broke out in this whole thing, and then like I remember once I was in high school, he was a sophomore because he's like a year older than me. So I would hang out with like this older kids, and I'm like a freshman, and it was like sophomores, juniors, seniors in this group, and I was like the only freshman. And I was like, cool, and we just BSing, having a good time, and we just stayed friends ever since. And like he loves movies, he loves comics, like we collect it, like we're a problem. We feed each other's habits. I'm like, bro, did you see that new pop? He's like, yes, or like we'll send each other stuff. I'm like, bro, we need to slow down. You're like, you're right, but did you see this? Like, so after I started by myself, I was like, it was the same problem, like just talking to the camera and like being alone. I was like, I know I do better when I'm conversating with someone or like have someone to work with. So I asked Eric, I was like, Eric, would you be cool to like do one with me? If you like it, cool. If you don't, then it's no big deal. He was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I remember the first time he was kind of like Ricky Bobby. He was just like standing there. And I was like, dude, relax. He's like, I am relaxed. I was like, Eric, relax. He's like, okay. I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm relaxing. I was like, bro, what are you doing with your hands? He's like, oh. I was like, so like little by little, we started getting into it. And it worked because like it just gave me that dynamic to like conversate. Like we'll sit, we have this thing like when we set up, we like immediately like, yeah, you're on the wrong side. I sit on that side. You sit on, like, we just have this weird, like, and we'll switch and then we'll look at each other like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. So just little by little, I just asked and he said yes. And I think he started to like it because he started doing research on his own and started hitting me back with stuff. He's like, dude, let's try this or let's do this. And I was like, yeah, dude, that sounds great. Like, that's kind of what I wanted, And then with David, I got him drunk because he did not want to be on camera. So he was like, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, all right. So we went out. I think we watched like, was it like Logan? And then afterwards, what we usually do, we'll go watch a movie. We'll go to like a restaurant, which is usually Hooters because it's like right next to the movie theater. And we'll eat, we'll drink, we'll chill, and we're just chatting about the movie. And then that turns into a whole discussion like about anything. And I go back and I was like, you want to like record for Logan? Like, you kind of up for it? He's like, no. And then a couple beers later, he's like, all right, I could record. And if you watch like our first video together, he's like holding a beer. And I was like, and after that, like the next day, he like calls me. He's like, yo, I had a great time. I want to do that again. I was like, are you still drunk? And he's like, no, for real. Like, I had a good time. I was like, all right, if you want to do another one, let's do another one. And same thing happened. Like now he's involved. Like he want to do a bunch of stuff. Like they're also like bringing ideas, which is really cool. So that way, like, I don't know, just turn into like this. Like it felt at first I was kind of like getting stuck because it was just me. And it was like, I'm not like connecting to it. But now I have like my two of my best friends and I'm connected. Like it turned into this more of like a friendlier environment because at the very least we're communicating with people and then we have each other to like play off of.
Yeah.
So like our personalities kind of.
It's building that dynamic, right? Because people
exactly.
want to see that conversation. And we all start, obviously with the right intention. We're like, we have this information. We just want to obviously get it out of our head and give it to people because people want to hear it. But when it's put into a form where it's a natural conversation and it's actually so much more dynamic, that's where it's not just more interesting for the people watching or listening. It's more interesting for us. I mean,
100%.
So, I mean, a lot of the things that you were talking about is very relatable for myself. I mean, I think that I do a lot of that to Rohas where I egg him on a lot too. And I'm like, hey, have you checked this out? Have you checked that out? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? Like even 2 days ago, I was like, hey, can you price this for me? Because you get it cheaper in the States. And then I was like, have you heard of this? He's like, nope. And I'm like, well, here's some videos. Go check it out. But I mean, Rojas and I, we've by ourselves been doing YouTube for at least 3-4 years, probably longer on Rojas' side. And, you know, we would from time to time connect and join on other people's live streams and panels and have these conversations. But, you know, when you really start to let loose and build that dynamic, we found that some of the best conversations we would have was after a live show or after we finished recording. And we were like, we should be recording the after shows. We should be recording these conversations. They're juicy conversations. They don't necessarily stay on topic. So that's kind of how we started with Beyond the Streams, because it was beyond the live streams that we had these conversations. So we started this channel. So I guess that leads me to kind of a question. After you finish these conversations with David and who is your other friend? Eric. So after you have these videos or these conversations with David and Eric, and you turn the camera off, do you ever have those moments where you're like, we should have left the camera rolling?
Oh yeah, dude, 100%, 100%. Because like we have a problem of like let's say the movie that we're gonna talk about is like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And we're recording, we're talking about it, and then we cut, and then next thing you know, we're for like another hour, we're just like BSing about like we try to stay on Guardians, but next thing you know, we're talking about like how Superman threw this building one time at Icon, like it's just random, and then it gets back to like this other movie that has to do like with westerns, like it's just this huge tangled net, and we're just like, man, we should have recorded that. Like it was just this whole rant of just knowledge that it serves no purpose other than to feed our like addiction to all this fun stuff, basically. But yeah, definitely.
Kind of how the Marvel universe works. Like everything is entangled. Like, oh, this person has their story, but they're the brother, sisters, uncle, stepchild of this person. That's how Marvel works.
All right, the Schwartz. Yeah, and what's funny too is so you know, like someone was saying that we've each had our own channels and we were growing them. So I had a little team that we were working together and doing stuff, not on YouTube, but like off this. And there's this thing called File Link, and that's where people could store all their applications. I was very anti File Linked. I'm like, this is dumb. Why don't you just go to a website? It's all listed. You click it, you download it. Why do I got to download an app to download another app to get to the damn app that I want? You know?
Yeah.
So, but it was, I guess, with File Linked, you could have it secured. You don't have to worry about the website stuff. Sometimes the apps will have malware, but instead of dealing with malware on the site and on the app, you just have to deal it potentially if it's on the app or not. With File Link, it kind of has like that firewall where it's like, well, it's just File Link. All it does is just a map to point to a certain place to get these apps. So, and he does a really good job making sure there is no malware, make sure everything is clean in there. So, but for me, I was still kind of like, that's so dumb to go from here to here to here. We even had an interview with one of the guys, Surge Flicks. I'm gonna call him out, and he was just like, "Yeah, dude, like you made me hate Next Level. you were the devil." I was like, "What the hell?" and it was, and what was funny too was during those maybe a year of that, Next Level and I would jump on other people's live shows, but it was always like, are you going to say something about me because I don't like File Linked? And he's like, are you going to say something because I like File Linked? So it was always like, is someone going to say something? Are we going to step on each other's toes? And we were always very respectful about each other, you know?
Yeah.
And literally it was earlier this year, and I want to say it was like April, we had, he jumped on my live show, and it went like the dynamic was just really good, how we talked to each other, how we worked with each other, and we started to get to know each other better. And you know, just like you with David and Eric, it was just like, damn, like, you know what, that worked, that kind of worked, let's try it again. And with us, you know, we have a big following within like the streaming community, and we're building one now with the general tech community. And it's cool because we have a lot of people that are telling us, dude, you guys, it's like peanut butter and jelly. Like you guys work. It works, you know? And yeah, and then it kind of, I think what we did was we kind of caught on to it pretty fast also.
Mhm.
And we were talking about this podcast back in May. And I had this idea with doing this podcast for like maybe a few years, but I'm like, I want to do it with somebody, but somebody that I know we can gel together and I can trust and everything.
Right. Definitely.
And so, you know, he brought it up saying like, hey, you know what, we should keep recording and do something with it. And I kind of like sat on it. I'm just like, well, let's see how this goes first, like with our live shows. And finally it was just like, I think it was like one random day I finally told him, you know what, screw it, we're doing it. We're doing it. I got images. I got this. I got that already. Like, what do we need? And he's just like, wait. Well, hold on a second. I need to do some research on the podcast.
I wasn't okay. Let's be realistic. I am not that active on YouTube compared to anything that you do, right? When you said, okay, we're going to do this podcast and we want 12 episodes right now. And I was like, I don't even have 12 videos on my YouTube channel for the month. Like, what do you want from me? So it came out of nowhere. And it was like, all right, so this is all the stuff we're doing for this month. We're going to start planning next month. We're going to start doing this. I'm like, I'm not even that organized on my main YouTube channel. Let's pull the reins back a little bit. Yeah. It went from being, 3 episodes a week to every other day now. That's what we're releasing content. Like, it's crazy. At first, we were like, I don't want to say pulling teeth, but it was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? And now it's like, when are we going to fit in this conversation into our schedule? Because we're booked until the end of November. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But do you mind if I add on to what you were saying there, Rohas?
Well, let me finish my thought.
Okay.
So yeah, I was very, let's move like now. And we were doing, I think it was 2 videos a week. I'm just looking at the channel right now. 3 months ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 videos from 3 months ago. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos the following month. we started doing, we drop the audio Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the video Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we kind of offset. There's a lot of people that really love the audios, and that's all they'll listen to. You know, they're at work popping it in. That's all they listen to. But as soon as my final thought on it, as soon as I told them this is what we need to do if we're going to do it, we sat down and I told him, because you know exactly what he just said. He was just like, dude, I don't work like that. I can't work like that. And I'm just like, I work like this. This is like, dude, if I have to drag you, I'm going to drag you. Like, but I'm going to get you up to speed. And I think it was, I don't know if you want to call it maybe more push and shove. It was like, come on, let's like pushing him uphill. Let's go, dude. But as soon as, and even then, even I would say the first 2 months, maybe the first, actually probably the first 3 months, it was a lot of like this, like, how are we doing this? How are we doing it? Like, you do this, I do this, you do this. I'm going crazy now, like, dude, you know. And but the thing is that if it wasn't for those, I don't know if you want to call them blood and tears, but if
growing moments,
if it wasn't for those moments, and I knew we just had to get over that hump just to figure out where we're at now, especially for this month of October. I'm like, let's get right up to there, because as soon as we get right there, it's going to start snowballing. So let us just get there. And I think I think it was let's try to run as fast as we can uphill. And it was, and yeah, we did have our moments where we're just like, fuck, dude, like I need to breathe. Give me some time to breathe. But now when you look at it, like if you look at this month of October, and if you would have seen us how we were in July, August, September, especially September. September was, I would say, was our roughest month. Like getting stuff together, putting it together, communicating together, editing together, like everything together. It was just like, I think we both wanted to choke each other out. now it's kind of like, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Everything is better, under control for the most part. Go ahead, next level. What are you going to say?
Perfect lead into my question. Because working with people takes a lot on everyone's part, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're going to talk about comics, because let's be real. People who are interested in comics, in movies and entertainment are very passionate about what they like, right? So you could work together, but if you disagree over, Spider-Man and Deadpool, you could lose a relationship, like a friendship could literally be broken. I'm just saying, right?
No, you're right, though.
Like Rohas and I, like as you heard, we've had moments, right? But it takes very special characters and people when it comes to trust and friendships and business ethics. I think to one, not show it on camera, and two, understand that you guys are bigger than that. So, I don't know if you want to share any moments, but have you and your friends had any moments where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this with this person anymore? How did you overcome it? Or what, if you haven't had moments like that, like, what do you think were some of the reasons you haven't? Like, were there certain discussions that took place before, you decided to bring these people onto camera, onto your channel? So kind of give us a little bit of backstory on that if you've had those experiences like Rojas and I have.
Definitely. I don't think I've had anything like too crazy, but I think honestly that's only just because I've known Eric for like 9 years and David for like 8 before we like actually started. And in a weird way, we have a lot of like similar tastes and stuff like that, but we've always been able to like communicate like, well, I like this more, I like this more. And we've always been able to like have that conversation without being like, oh, like, for the most part, I don't think I've had any, like, I remember like once with Eric, we were about to record, and right before we recorded, we were just having a conversation, like setting everything up. We ended up not recording that day just because we got so lost into this conversation about, it was like, we're talking about Wolverine and like everything he did. Like, I mean, he's the reason we have so many of these other characters. And we got into this whole conversation about like, it wasn't even an argument. It was just like, so what's more tragic? Like his backstory, his current story, like
exactly what I was talking about.
You know what I mean? Like we got into this full, like everything's there. We weren't recording. Like it was just, we just were like, we had like, if we were recording, I think it would have been hilarious. But we were setting up, we're having this conversation. He goes, yeah, dude, I read this about him. I was like, yeah, dude, I knew that. He goes, how'd you know that? I was like, Dog, I got the internet too, bro. Hold on, wait a minute. And we just got into this deep dive of like, it's tragic that, his wife died like this because of this. He goes, well, no, I think it's more tragic because his second wife died like that. And we just got into this whole thing. And then next thing you know, it's like a few hours have gone by. And I'm like, we didn't, I'll be back tomorrow. I was but like, I think honestly, I've just been kind of lucky just because I knew them already, like for years. And then we already know like what we like and don't like where it mixes. The only time I've ever had like a legit heated conversation with someone, it wasn't even them. David was there. This was back when I worked at Home Depot, and my department supervisor is like a huge Iron Man fan, and I'm a Batman fan. Like at the end of the day, it's the bat for me. And we're having this conversation between like Iron Man versus Batman, and I was off. Like I had just gotten off, so like I took off my apron or whatever. and he was still working with the apron, and there's customers walking by, and we're talking like dead ass, like in each other's face, like, this is better, this is why he's better. And he's like, I'll be right with you, sir. And then we just got back into it, and David was standing there like, I didn't want to get involved because I feel like I would have gotten hit. Like, it was funny because me and him are still friends, Josh, but it was just like we had this huge like conversation, like Iron Man on Batman, because if you take away the suit or blah blah blah, and then you just had customers walking by like, I just want to buy this like screw, like I'm just trying to get out of here. And he was still like working, but it was just one of the funniest moments ever. But I think that's like generally the only time I've had like a major like heated, I guess, discussion, because I was like, dude, like at the end of the day, I was like, Batman, bro. And he was like, well, at the end of the day, Iron Man. I was like, I'm going home. I was like,
you can't get through that. You can't go nowhere.
Yeah. Next Level and I think what's really cool is we don't have that history. We're building our history is what we're doing. And I think what's cool is, I honestly wish I knew Next Level when I was a kid. Like the way we get along is I get along with very few people from when I was a kid. Like I could literally count with one hand my best friends.
No, I feel like
literally with one hand how many best friends that I got. And I could even shrink that down to one finger on one person that I talk to on the daily since junior high. You know, and what's crazy is this fool lives in Atlanta and I'm in California, and we make it work somehow. It's fun. His parents call me son, and every time I call them, they'll call me for my birthday. I'll call them for their birthday. It's funny. I'll be like, Mom, your cute son is here, and then she'll be like, yeah, el otro es feo. She's calling her own son ugly. It's hilarious. But even the sisters will tell me like, yeah, this one's cuter. But with Next Level and I think we've, in a very short period of time, we've been able to get this like bond, I guess. Yeah. And I've told him straight out multiple times. I'm like, dude, I can care less about all this stuff. I'm just worried about our friendship, dude. Like, our connection that we have is more important than any of this stuff. Like, I would rather have you keep your sanity in our friendship than this or with whatever the hell you're going through. And then if you need me, I'm always here. Like, there was even one period of time that we were talking almost every single day, multiple times a day. And he said it on one of the live shows, anybody who wants to get in a relationship with me, we have to check with Rohas first.
he called me in the morning. All right, what are we doing? And call me in the afternoon and be like, all right. And then I'll be recording with him all day. Like there was a day where we recorded 14 hours straight. Do you imagine talking and seeing somebody for 14 hours straight? You're just like, all right. But
they're good.
You know, the craziest thing before we started working together, I literally told my girlfriend, I was like, I want somebody locally that I could talk about the stuff that I'm interested in, like tech or like this Deadpool that I have sitting behind me, or like computers or laptops, and I was like, I got nobody to have these conversations with. And then all of a sudden I just started like working with Rohas and doing live shows, and it just kind of happened. And it was literally maybe a month ago where I turned to my girlfriend again and I was like, so I got that person, but they're not local, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I need my space.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now it's like opposite. So this is the part of the show that we want to say thank you for coming, and we want to tell you if there's anything that you want to say to the people, any whatever you want to say, whatever you want to close us out with, this is your time. Go for it.
Cool. No, first I want to say thanks for having me. I had actually a really fun time just conversating, talking about a bunch of stuff I love. And whoever's listening or watching, hopefully you guys had as much fun as I did, because I know my tables are they're turning in here. The gears are cranking. So I had a great time. Thank you again, really, for having me. Hopefully a few people at least get a laugh or two throughout the situations. I apologize for my rants, because I was doing my best. I was like chill. But no, really, just thank you. AOA, check out their channel. Check out Rohas. Check out Next Level. Y'all are cool people. Well, Steve, you know, I mean, I've been known you, so he's cool people. Next Level just met, and I mean, like you're just cool people. Like the simple conversations we had, just like you're genuine. So that was really cool. And I'm not, because at first I was like, I'm kind of nervous. But then we started talking, and I was like, oh, these are my kind of people.
Right.
So no, I just fell into it. But no, really, just thank you for having me. I had a great time. If you ever just like, even outside, if you ever want to talk, like now, y'all done messed up.
You know, I wanted to thank you for coming on, taking the time out of your day and just hanging out with us. I know you probably would have done it with Rojas anyways, but you gave me an opportunity to meet you as well and tell me about your story and kind of where you've come from and how you've gotten to where you are with your YouTube channel and having the conversations with your friends as well. Obviously, if anybody hasn't been paying attention, you're very passionate at what you do, what you know. And I think that as long as you continue to do what you're passionate, you're going to be successful no matter what. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate it again, and thank you. And I look forward to checking out some more of your videos. And who knows, maybe you're gonna grab Rojas and throw him onto one of your debates on your channel one day. We'll see.
Oh, for real, we gotta have a whole conversation of like,
hey.
Yeah, I'm like, are you ready? And I'm just gonna see him come on camera like full outfit, curl. I'm like, I'm ready.
For real. So with all that being said, you know, again, I'd like to thank you for coming. Anybody who's out there listening, make sure you guys do check the description below. We will have his channel. It is called I Just Watched. Just check out his channel. Make sure you guys do subscribe. He's got plenty of stuff there. It's a really cool channel where you can see all different types of reaction videos. And if you look at just look at all his videos, he's got stuff with reviews, reactions, with trailers, different stuff with comic books and stuff. He's got some skits on there, a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you guys do follow him. And with all that being said, as always, you guys take care and take care of each other.
And stay humble and be patient. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Yo.
Peace out.